What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. I'm Ryan Thomas. I'm your host, bringing you another edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. Very excited to get started with today's episode. Long time coming when what it feels like it's been a long week since the crazy game that was Super Bowl LI, Super Bowl 51 between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. If you have not tuned in to my Super Bowl LI prediction, I said that the Atlanta Falcons would jump out to a 2-possession lead and New England would come back to win the game. Little did I know it would be a 3-possession lead and New England would come back to win the game. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in NFL history. This game cements that forever, set in stone, that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in the history of the National Football League. His 5th Super Bowl title, Bill Belichick's 7th Super Bowl title, 5th as a head coach of the New England Patriots, the winningest quarterback head coaching duo in NFL history. They are the greatest of the greatest. Now, would the tone be changed would the tune be a different tune had the Patriots lost? No, not for me. Brady would be 4-3 in Super Bowls, but he would have just as many Super Bowls as Joe Montana. And he did not lose. He won the game. Let's go down the stats list. I have a stat sheet here in front of me. First downs, 37-17. First downs rushing, 7-3, Patriots. First downs passing, 26-13, Patriots. Third down efficiency, 7 for 14 for New England, 1 for 8 for the Atlanta Falcons. Fourth down efficiency, 1 for 1. Total net yards, 546. Total net yards rushing, 104. Rushing attempts, 25 to the Falcons, 18. And I'll get to that a little bit later. Net passing yards, 442. Brady did finish with 466. Passing yards, 43 for 63. So the passing yards, net passing yards, that's a little wrong. I don't know where they messed that up. But all in all, the key statistic of this game that'll go down in history as the greatest Super Bowl comeback to date, and I say to date because it easily could change in due time, the greatest Super Bowl comeback for now. But the greatest statistic of this game that personifies this game is my favorite statistic in pro football. No matter what game, whether it be a Week 3 game or a Super Bowl, the key statistic between two teams is time of possession. The New England Patriots had the ball 40 minutes and 31 seconds in comparison to the Atlanta Falcons 23 minutes and 27 seconds. Simply put, Atlanta's defense was on the field for 93 defensive snaps. New England was on the field 40 minutes out of a 60-minute game. 43 minutes, actually. So, that being said, where do I start? Do I start with the fact that Brady threw the pick six? The fact that New England looked downright terrible in the first half of that game? Brady threw a lot of bad passes, one of them that pick six. A lot of the passes were rushed. A lot of it was Brady just getting crushed by the Falcons' D-line. They applied great pressure to Tom Brady in the first half of the game. Do I start with where Atlanta went wrong? Where did Atlanta go wrong? In my eyes, Julio Jones makes that catch. They're on the 22-yard line. Why would they not continue to run the ball when at that point they had been averaging over 6 yards a carry with Devontae Freeman? Tevin Coleman did get knocked out of the game, which I feel was a huge factor in the game, the fact that Tevin Coleman got knocked out. Their starting right guard was knocked out of the game as well. So that was a factor that could have been a very adequate reason why Matt Ryan was pressured so often on those basically two last ensuing drives for the Falcons, one in which Matt Ryan was strip-sacked, the other in which he fumbled the ball. The other in which he turned the ball, they lost 13 yards, I'm sorry. So, the first was a strip sack. Obviously, they fumbled. New England goes down the field and scores. Then he takes that terrible sack on the next drive, and they have to go backwards again the next play because there's a holding penalty. It's 3rd and 33. Matt Ryan's got to drop back, find the open receiver, and there's nobody open. Incomplete pass. They're outside of field goal range, so New England had to start completely over when realistically Atlanta, under any circumstance, should have won this game. They should have won this game. Any which way you cut it, Atlanta should have won this game. Atlanta threw this game away. 28-3 heading into the fourth quarter. 28-3 with 8:31 left in the third quarter, breaking the record for the largest deficit to overcome to win the Super Bowl. Previous record was set by the Redskins and was matched by the New Orleans Saints and then the Patriots in Super Bowl XLIX. The third largest comeback win in NFL history, behind the comeback of the Buffalo Bills and the wild card game between the Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs, in which the Colts erased a 28-point deficit. As I said earlier, the 5th championship for Tom Brady, his 4th Super Bowl MVP, the most all-time. Patriots tied the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers, who have five victories each for second most, trailing only the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have 6 Super Bowl victories. This was an incredible, incredible game. The best part was the fact that I was on Facebook interacting with people during the game, and it was 28-3, as I stated, in the third quarter, late in the third quarter. And I was really disappointed with this game. I thought this game would be a barn burner of a matchup between the Patriots and the Falcons. It would be an entertaining drive-for-drive game, a shootout pretty much. And, I thought Atlanta would jump out to an early lead, but then the Patriots would tie it up, with more time left than what there actually was in reality. And the Patriots would win, but I thought it would be an entertaining game more so throughout. The entire first half was very, very slow moving. I posted a status on Facebook saying that I was disappointed with the Super Bowl. I wanted to see something happen. And thankfully, that strip sack started it all in terms of the entertainment factor of this Super Bowl. Now, I've had so many people talk to me about, my love for Tom Brady, my man crush for Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback I have ever seen. Tom Brady will be always the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. That final drive cemented that for me, and it will for the rest of my days. Reason why? They win the coin toss, they get the ball. Every single pass that Tom Brady threw during that final drive was a first down, with the exception of the touchdown, with the exception of a penalty that allowed the Patriots to move the ball up a little bit. Every single pass was a first down. He picked Atlanta apart, and Atlanta, for being the fact that they were on the field, as I stated earlier, a whopping 93 defensive snaps, they actually played pretty tight with Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman, with the best catch since David Tyree in a Super Bowl. Could we all agree on that? What the hell was that? I can't even wrap my head around that still. I don't know if I'll ever be able to wrap my head around that, being that it was caught off the Atlanta Falcons defender's shoe, and Julian Edelman played hot potato with it when it was 1 inch, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters above the ground. One of the most remarkable catches I have ever seen, and I thought he had caught it, and when they ruled it a catch, I thought, oh my God, this is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. At that point, Tom Brady had a really weak first half. The second half, though, he really turned things on, and it was one of the greatest second half performances I've ever seen. People have said to me, well, Atlanta blew it. Atlanta came back. Atlanta blew the lead. They did blow the lead, but Tom Brady had to take advantage of it and make sure that he would get what he needed to do what he needed to do to win the game. I am still to this very minute. I prepared this podcast. I wrote all this stuff down in front of me, and I honestly, I can't even put it into words what that game was like for me. That was the best fourth quarter I have ever watched. And just because I like Tom Brady does not mean I'm a Patriots fan. But what I do is I recognize greatness. I've seen it over 30 times between the Patriots and the Bills matchups, being a Buffalo Bills fan. And I see it in the playoffs, and I've seen it in the Super Bowl. Under the craziest circumstance, he found a way to win. And that is my fantasy quarterback. He's provided me with 3 fantasy championships. So maybe that's why I have a bit of a soft spot for Tom Brady, so to speak. Maybe that's why I respect Tom Brady. I witnessed greatness from TB12. Down 28-3, they win this game 34-28. The greatest dynasty in NFL history, led by the greatest quarterback, the greatest NFL head coach, and an owner that is all class. I am a Bills fan, and I hate seeing these guys beat us time and time again, but at some point a smart man once said you have to recognize and tip the cap to them. I've witnessed this firsthand. The greatest dynasty in NFL history, and for that, I thank them. I really do. Because they have fought the fight for the last 17 years that Bill Belichick and TB12 have been together. And I'm going to tell my kids about Tom Brady being the best quarterback of all time. They're going to go back, watch the highlights of this game from every Super Bowl that I have seen TB12 compete in, and know that he's the best to ever do it. I've never hated on the Patriots because you can't hate on the Patriots. You have to respect any team that continues to rewrite history while writing their very own. Again, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. Anybody that disagrees is a hater. Be realistic. There's not much to deny at this point. This was the most opportunity knocks game in all of sports, as is the Super Bowl on a regular basis. The Super Bowl is usually an opportunity knocks game. And I anticipated that this would be a drive-for-drive game between the Patriots and the Falcons. And literally, whether it was a shootout or not, it was a drive-for-drive game in the fact that the Patriots had to make do within every drive that they made. You have to look to the future, though. Reports are circulating that Tom Brady will receive a 5-year extension, that he will be the Patriots quarterback for the next 3 to 5 years. It's remarkable. No end in sight for Tom Brady. Even though he's accomplished everything that he has accomplished, there is no end in sight for this guy. None whatsoever. And I have to tip my cap to Tom Brady. I can't be just a hater just because I'm a Bills fan. I have to say enough is enough. And this was a remarkable Super Bowl. That strip sack changed everything. It was 3rd and 1 on all-out blitz. Matt Ryan took a terrible sack. Patriots go down the field with ease and put it 28-20. Freeman gets a huge 39 reception, and then Julio Jones gets the first great catch of the game. We all thought it was over. No. 2nd and 11, Dre Flowers sacks Matt Ryan again. 3rd and 23, Jake Matthews gets called for holding. Good call. Next pass, incomplete. Atlanta punts. Brady to Hogan, 3rd and 10. Malcolm Mitchell, 11 yards. Edelman with the catch. Brady to Amendola, 20 yards. Brady to White for 15. Brady to White for 10. Brady to White TD, 26-28, 2-point conversion to Amendola. That was the sequence, how it went down. Overtime, Brady to White, 6 yards. Amendola first down. Hogan first down. Edelman first down. White first down. Bennett pass interference penalty. Draws that. James White, TD, game over. The Patriots are Super Bowl champs. Part 2 coming right up. Thanks for tuning in.